figuring today's probably going to be a slower open given the fact that we have FOMC tomorrow. But, you know, you can always be surprised. Price can always kind of do something a little bit different. It's never going to be the same thing every time. I know I can think back to a recent Tuesday before FOMC where it was actually pretty decent to trade. So not necessarily assuming it has to be good, but I just think it's going to be different than just a typical trading day. Yeah, I think today will be probably a little slower in general. Probably a little bit, could be choppy. So I'm expecting maybe an opening range. I don't really think we'll get an opening drive. I could be wrong, but yeah, my expectation is that it's just going to be a little slower off the open. I do see a couple new day opening gaps. We are holding below VWAP. So, I mean, we're also below midnight open, at least on ES. YM's about the same. NQ's the weakest of the three. So if you're looking to short something, interesting. So yeah, if we take a look at, yeah, I mean, even ES, we have this 15-minute fair value gap right here. So it is possible we drive lower. Kind of rounding, right? We do have all this stuff down here. We'll see. I'll just let it develop. I don't really have any urgency with this trade. Yeah, all my charts on TradingView are all blue now from the update. I'm like, no one asked him to do this. I'm like, actually, it does look kind of nice. A little bit easier to see. It's a lot of shit going on, that's for sure, but it's a nice change. NQ has 6 unfilled. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Here. Just a normal day in the office, I guess, right? It's a bunch of nonsense already. So we could look at the profile, see what we've done. So we start right here. You have your midnight open. London highs. What have we done with the Asia range? So Asia would be essentially this area. We've swept to the high and the low, pretty much. I believe Asia opens at 8. I believe that's our time. So yeah, that would be potential for this to be like a seek and destroy. Because you have like the high, you have the new day open, right? In here. But that's like the crossover. There's that period before Asia. And then you have, yeah, that Asia low essentially, or London low, Asia low, somewhere in here. Give or take, you get into like the 2 a.m.s, more London. But you have midnight open right there. So we've swept higher, we've swept lower. This tells me maybe just be patient. So we like your afternoon low I guess this is even just, it's your RTH low. So yeah, yesterday's session. It's not the overnight low or anything. Downtrend city. Yeah, I mean, depends where you're looking, right? You can argue the 60 minutes still likely in this little range. Maybe this is a sweep higher to continue lower. I don't know. I don't have an answer. ES is definitely stronger though. I can tell you that. The question is whether or not we hold, high or low, start to see some development, but I'm 99% sure I'm just gonna sit for at least the first 30 minutes. I'd rather just let it develop instead of rush into something. Yeah, you mentioned a new week opening gap on NQ. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty much resting on a new week opening gap. So it's likely we could bounce here essentially. It's yep, 875. If we are going to see some sort of seek and destroy conditions, it's likely that we do see some sort of rally just because we swept both sides of the range. Yeah, it's a 3-point gap. I mean, yeah. Now I have 870 to 885 in QM. Yeah, maybe it's smaller. Oh, 8, yeah. Maybe it's smaller on micro NQ. Very possible. 2 minutes till the open. Yeah, we'll be streaming here all week. We'll maybe stream for FOMC. I'm not too sure. I have a meeting around then. I think I might be done before, so we might be able to. I have to check my calendar. It's either I have a call like right before then or right exactly at that time. So okay, we got 1 minute till the open. So ideally what you do is just rush into something without thinking, right? That usually is going to work well. Because if you want to be patient, like what's the fun in that? So yeah, literally the goal, just focus on one setup, one idea, let price develop. If there's a day for something to be a little bit tricky, it's going to be a day like today. It doesn't have to be, but it's very likely that that happens. Good morning, how you doing? All right, 10 seconds till the open. Pretty much stay on the 5 and 15. So you have this sweep right here. What's this range? 6 points. So we'll see if this rolls over. Yeah. So this candle right here doesn't necessarily tell me I want to get in something just yet. At least not long, maybe short, but even then, it's just a lot of a wick. It's a lot of back and forth. I think it'll be easier just to wait for a higher low, maybe wait for like VWAP to get reclaimed. I think that's a pretty clear indication if we're going to be below VWAP off the open, maybe focus on just letting it either reclaim or just look to align with the short, but I don't really want to short necessarily right here. Yeah, smart. Days like this, super important to size down. Super important. What we're probably going to see is just a handful of candles just kind of chop people up. We're going to get to that point. I mean, I think we're already there. If we look at like a higher time frame, it's debatable if we're there yet, but we are going to start getting to the point where all of the people who have been conditioned to just short this over and over and over without any real rhyme or reason, you get rewarded for shorting everything. That's soon going to very much flip. You know, when you start seeing a potential higher lows right here, that will lead to these inevitable short squeezes. Shit like this, where everybody with like 2 brain cells can just press sell and make money. It doesn't matter the price. It doesn't matter the location. It doesn't matter if it's going lower forever. It doesn't matter if it doesn't sweep any of these. That's conditioning people to trade a certain way. When you leave all of these lower highs intact, that means there's never these strong rallies. So therefore, it means that people could just short. Like any price, low of day, breaking low of day, they can just short it. Under the moving average, just continuous short. So once you start flipping that and you get onto this other side, you know, you break the trend line, if you will, this right here becomes very, very, very dangerous to short, especially at places like the open, right? Especially at places like the low. This type of trade, it's probably worked, I don't know, 20 times or something in this period of time. But the question is it going to keep working? Because it can't keep selling off if it's going to potentially go up. And I mean, if this thing keeps going forever, we'll probably have bigger issues than entering a trade, just to be real. So this is a location where you want to be cautious for sure. I'm not saying it has to, but it's like, at what point do we acknowledge that maybe this is a box right here and we've broken out, that we're going to hold higher? Maybe you look at this 4-hour inversion. I would say this is a reasonable area to maybe think if we get above this, probably a little less likely that the shorts continue. Like night shift on my screen. Yeah. Okay, nice. I think I need new candlestick colors soon. Anyone know what candlestick colors George Soros has? Anyone know what candlestick colors Jesse Livermore had? Go ask Michael Burry what his candlestick colors are. Yeah, just ask all the important questions. It's like nowadays, I genuinely feel like most traders would ask that type of stuff. Meet Paul Tudor Jones. They're like, hey, what broker do you use? You use VWAP? No, I'm just kidding. Most traders wouldn't know who those people are. So they wouldn't ask. I will say it is a very weird day and age, because if someone from like a different historical period came to the future and they met a trader and they're like, okay, so where do you learn about this stuff? Some guy named Lamborghini Man on Twitter. Like, just the most random usernames. And they're like, you trust this guy with the most important decisions of your life, right? Yeah, that's why I bought Fortcoin. It was like weird times. It's hard to take anything serious when you see what type of money is made. Yeah. So we are getting that push lower that we talked about, like being a potential with the 15-minute. Um, I guess it is respecting this 5-minute gap. That's fair. But it doesn't align with what we wanted to trade. I see a lot of failure swings right here. I don't see a clear manipulation. All I see is that we ran essentially both sides of Asia. Nice little bleeder. 4 candles lower. On the 1 minute, NQ's weak. YM, yeah. Let's see, where's YM? YM's holding up. YM's holding up. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Boom. All right, so ChatGPT says Asia starts at 7 p.m. I always knew it was like it's just a little bit after the open, but you can pretty much mark out that box from like 8 p.m. to midnight and get a good idea if we're in some sort of seek and destroy condition. So let's see, we'll do 7. If it's 7, we did not take out that high. But they said 7 to 4 a.m., so I don't even believe them. I don't believe no fucking robot. I always do 8 to midnight. That's usually the Asia one that I have. Need Top Step to have automated, like, or not automated, but just custom indicators, so I could have my own shit on here. 755. Okay, yeah, we're almost there. Almost there on NQ. For sure. That's insane. We're already almost at prior day low on NQ. Wow. So that's ES. Prior day lows down here at 48s or 51s. All right. Yeah, it looks like we're going to take it. Micro NQ. What the... What type of daily chart is this? Dear Lord. Yeah. NQ is weak as hell. So if you sweep prior day low but retain that range, that actually might set up a decent trade opportunity for you. But, I mean, we are falling off a cliff right now if you look at like the 5 minute. Do you get this afternoon low right here that got swept? Or broken, rather. Not even a sweep, it's just a break right now. It's really not a surprise that we trade lower immediately. It's not. We're in a downtrend, we rally, and then we roll over. The question is, do we continue lower or not? It's really to be decided. I don't really see an entry that I want to structure at the open. A lot of reasons not to. I mean, you know, you have a lot of relatively like lower highs, equal highs. There's just been that stuff left a lot lately, and those tend to be pretty easy targets. But we're only 10 minutes into the day. My game plan's pretty much wait until the opening range has been developed. I'm not going to be the type to look for any sort of continuation right here. There's just no way. It's not my trade. I mean, and plus look at this. Yeah, I traded lower, but it's kind of trading weird. There's like not any wicks on the top. There's a lot of gaps right here on ES and Q. Kind of weird. It just traded immediately lower. Like when you see this stuff on NQ, it's not normal. When there's very small wicks, NQ likes to kind of sweep both sides of that open for pretty much every candle. It's just a tendency that happens like so often that you'll get trailed out. So if there are no wicks on this, it just makes me think that this is just a bit of a different move, which isn't surprising considering we have FOMC tomorrow, and FOMC is really going to change what the market looks like. Price will be a couple hundred points in a different direction. It is kind of good though. If you look at ES, we did sweep out like over here from yesterday. We had this low. Let me make it purple or something. It's good that we did sweep this stuff out because we were leaving a lot of that behind. So whenever you have a lot of, again, higher lows, that stuff does not normally get left by itself. It's very rare for market structure to be a perfect staircase. It'll normally stab lower and grab something. So even if it does want to continue higher, this seems normal. So a trade that I like would be like this breaker because we test the level. We have this right here. Then I guess your target would be that. I don't know if I probably won't take it. I'm just laying out the framework that I do take for trades. So you have this higher time frame level right here, that purple one that we said. Swap that out. Lower time frame confirmation would be something like this breaker, you know, something like that. Maybe it's a fair value gap market model 2022. It could be something. Maybe it's this breaks higher, then you get a higher low, fair value gap, then you take that. That would be a trade that I would look for. And then you target something that's like a clear, obvious target. So maybe you would use something like 50% of this range. 50% of this range right here. And then, well, it's almost at 50%. But you see, regardless, this didn't really give me a strong confirmation, and then it failed immediately. So that's kind of cool. But regardless, those are the types of trades I take. I look for something like that, and then I look for some sort of easy money target, maybe like up here. But as far as continued downside, I don't really have, there hasn't been an entry for me. All we had was that initial 5-minute gap. None of this is something I necessarily want to short. Maybe I guess the sweep could give you an indication, but for it to push And then this next candle be a 10-point candle. That's not normal on ES, just for reference. 10-point candle is not it's not something you should expect ever, really, on ES. So MNQ did 61 points. Like, that doesn't even make sense. 61 points and not even news. So I think this is a day where if you're not sizing down, like yet, you need to definitely size down a ton because you'll get smoked. Those candles don't look like they will destroy your account, but they absolutely will. Those candles will destroy your account. 61 points. A lot of traders never even get 61 points in profit. So for there to be a 61-point candle, it's unusual. So we got halfway through the opening range, right? 945. We're going to want to see how price reacts. So we did sweep out these levels. If you were on stream yesterday, you do remember we were talking about these equal lows from London, and we have ran through those now. So that's also good to note. We'll see. I mean, I don't really think this is going to be too volatile the day before FOMC. I think it's more likely to drive back into the range, but, we'll figure it out. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you get what you can, right? It's just one of those days. See a little box like this. Question is, if you rally here, are you going to reclaim that level? I don't really want to touch this in general. If you look at the daily this daily candle looks ridiculous for NQ. But the idea is that we're below prior day low. I don't really want to be trying too many counter trend trades unless we're going to immediately reclaim it. I need stronger confirmations. I'd prefer to stay on ES for any sort of bullish trades, but even then, we'll just see how the structure develops. So right now, all we have is essentially an intraday downtrend. Sell off. The question is, do we reclaim? If we start to reclaim, do we run these highs? Do we get some sort of model, like market maker model? I don't know. I don't find it too likely just based on, it's an inside day. It's an inside day. We did sweep prior day low, so I guess you can call this right here SMT at the lows with NQ. So that's something to maybe consider, but I'm not too sold. Smart. Yeah, today's a day where people are going to easily be blowing their accounts. Yesterday was really bad. I heard everyone was blowing their accounts yesterday. I guess I don't blame them. It makes sense. But again, also just like know when to do less. That's the whole point I stream. I show you when I think is a decent time to trade. And when's a less likely scenario that's going to be decent for you. So you have this right here. Right, you're starting to potentially reclaim this low. If you look at the 15, it's from over here. So what's NQ doing? Yeah, you'd want that to get above that level. If it can get above this level and start making something convincing, the idea is like if the trade is obvious, yeah, take it. But if it's like a maybe, just leave it alone. Yeah, you have a lot of variables aligning against the long, so you're under a new day gap or a new week gap. So you have like a resistance there. The 15 minutes, broad down candle on the open. The 4 hours, yeah, big down candle. We are on a 4-hour gap on ES, so I think that is kind of relevant. Pull that up. It's a little 4-hour gap, so maybe we do see a bounce here. Let's see if we get some more convincing data. So just something else to kind of confirm our bias. Because if we're not going to hold here, where are we trading? Are we trading down to 53? And is 53 a likely... Do I think 53 is likely? I mean, I suppose we can. There's no issue with it. But I do think we might see a reaction here. It's all about looking at the level, seeing if there's a reaction at the level, then from there you can determine if you find a trade. But you can't really have one or the other. It's not just a reaction and it's not just a level. If you trade just levels, you'll have a lot of losses. Yeah, not so clear. I get you. It's not clear. It's not even not... I wouldn't say it's not so clear for you. It's just not so clear in general. I would say for a majority of people, it's not clear. Even these little consolidations, they're going to mess people up. Oh, yeah. Okay, I updated the permission, so I think everyone should be able to type in chat now. If you ever have anything to type. Yeah, the most annoying thing about Discord is just setting it up. Yeah, of course. No problem. I was like, why is everyone so quiet? All right, so now we're seeing just continued consolidation with that, that low. What I would potentially like to see, and I don't know if we'll see it, right? We can easily just continue lower. But it would be nice. It would be nice if we saw a rally that could hold, create a little gap, and then we could target something like just in here, like 5,700. I'd be down for 5,700. So if we can go 58.85, like 85 to 700, that'd be nice. But it would assume that this holds, breaks higher, gives me that higher low. So that gives you a little market structure shift. And then maybe we're staying in the top part of this big down candle. Those are like the 3 requirements I'd want to see to get involved in a trade. To short it, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I understand it could go lower. It's just, there's too many variables that make the short not easy for me to trade. And I just feel like it's going to continue to build bad habits. But again, that means I'm end up sidelined on a lot of this stuff. You'll have people say, oh, well, that means the system's not optimal. I'm like, there's a reason why I know not to do this shit. I've blown up a lot trying to short shit that when you start to see those pivots in the market, it never ends well for people who get conditioned to trade something that's not a very like a consistent part of the market. If it's not consistent, the market just dies 10% in a week or 2 or 3 or whatever. So if my strategies revolved around trading momentum into the lows, the index isn't a momentum product. It's a mean reversion. It ranges most of the time. So if it's going to just kind of just perpetually sell, it's like I'm not going to get used to trading that. It's not going to benefit me for the next 1,000 trades. So everything except YM's made new low right now. So 3 minutes till 10 a.m. We'll watch, a little bit past 10, maybe 1 or 2 15-minute candles. But yeah, right now as it stands, there's not much I can personally do with it. I mean, I guess that you can argue, yeah, there's a fair value gap, there's an order block, but it's just a location. It's shorting into, it doesn't feel like it should be, let's just short all the way through the swing low, right? Then you have all this wick right here. I just feel like this is a really congested area. I don't necessarily think we're going to slice right through this. If I'm trying to short, I'm better shorting in this area. But obviously that doesn't work for the time of day. And it's just, for this, the open, it's not really my trade. $100%. This has been one of those markets where you just go, okay, well, if it's a market I've traded for years, it's not just going to sell every day. But I mean, that's just been the case. If you just sell the open every single day and have some sort of, maybe let's just say a 15-point stop and you target 2R with like ES, if you just sell every single day, you'll probably have like an 85-90% win rate just selling the open. Not even no strategy, just wake up and sell, which is insane to me. I don't think that's obviously it doesn't fucking make sense. Obviously it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, like you just see it just open, die, open, die. Nice. Where that is. 7th from 723. Yeah, I mean it's just not a trade I can really take. I'm not going to short at the low a day. I've, you know how violently those ones get inverted? And that's the last thing. Like, I hate shorting the absolute bottom and then buying the absolute top. I hate those two things. So I'll never be like, oh yeah, let me just see the second or third leg lower and then I'm just going to short. It just doesn't work for me. Because I know when the markets change, those are the first profits that get given back. It's those late shorts. But the problem is this is just continued longer than I ever thought would make sense. Honestly. Yeah, let's just perpetually sell every day. That makes sense to me. So it's 10 a.m. We're continuing lower. So now we're looking at the third consecutive 15-minute candle moving down. I doubt there's gonna be an opportunity for me. If there was some short, it's just what's the risk reward on any of this stuff, right? What's the probability on any of this stuff? 50%. Yeah, it's just you see how it's like sideways. A lot of it's choppy, choppy, choppy on the 1 minute, especially. I'll show you right here. Yeah, this kind of stuff. Because there's always just, that like potential wick, right? If I'm putting my stop right here, 780. I mean, I guess you can say, yeah, once it holds right here, from here to here, but man, it's such a small range. I won't do it. I won't do it. I could barely see it at this point when it's all compressed. If you continue, I promise you, I can guarantee one thing. If this is a trade that people continue to do, short right here, it will not work long term. It will not. It might work right now, but it will not work long term. I would never, ever buy this intraday. I would never buy here on a 1 minute chart, ever. It just, no. It's gone. Does that mean that you can make money? Yeah, you can make money. It's just the likelihood that it reverses, and when it reverses, I don't have any understanding of that. Yeah, it's just not going to work consistently. It can work. Don't get me wrong. It's a hard ass trade to take. I like the easier trades, the trades that I can assume are going to work in my favor. Something that aligns with a time frame. I get it. If it's continuation, the market obviously continues, but it's tricky to say the least. 100%. 100%. That's the best thing you can do. It's really hard to do, though. I can promise you that. You're going to be like, I want to stick to my strategy. And then you'll see one person that's like, if you miss a trade, you're whatever. And you're just like, damn, maybe I should be catching every trade. There, you literally can't. There's certain systems you might get a setup every whatever. Right now, this is a market where there's not a lot of back and forth. I'm very good at trading back and forth. But when it's just like one direction, what do you want me to do? Like, I need to, if you want, you want me to short? Okay, then give me some sort of rally to short into. I'm not shorting the lowest 5-minute candle of the day. I'm not doing it. And the market's just like, oh, word? Okay, we're just going to keep going lower. We'll never give you a pullback. Like on Friday, there was that data short I really, really, really wanted to take. Like, I was itching to take that. I thought that was the most obvious trade in the world. I'm not going to short through data just because I don't think it sets a good example. But if I was just trading on my own, I'm absolutely shorting that shit. Absolutely, 100%. I just don't think it's something that people should be like, yeah, I should do that. No. And most of the time, it will not work for you. But so I like shorting. It's just not this market. Yeah, that data. Yep. Yeah, I saw that. As soon as I saw it start to break lower on the 1 minute, I was like twitching. Like, felt my eyes start twitching. I was like, I need to be in this trade. Yeah, you'll get those occasionally. Just if you take the same trade over and over every single day, you'll get pretty consistent results, which is the awesome part. That's why I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, that's why you backtest or you study. It doesn't really matter what strategy you use whatever, trade whatever. It's all the same shit. It's just what can you see better? There's certain stuff I can see. There's certain stuff that I cannot see. I have to use very simple charts. I can't use like Thinkorswim or anything. So all these indicators lay on top of the candles. I need to see the candles by themselves. YM's held up the best. It's definitely held up the best. It's just chopping. Yeah, I think this is just going to be stuck in one of these bullshit channels. MNQ. So the one thing I can say about pre-FOMC that I've noticed a couple times is it will kind of just... I've normally seen it to the upside, and that's actually what I was kind of thinking might happen today. I personally thought we might kind of see it just kind of persist higher if it didn't give an opening range, which either way, if it went like this higher, I don't really have a trade either. So it doesn't benefit me. This is a really tricky market to get involved with. But it will kind of just make these like phantom channels, like where it just like stays like locked in, and you're like, you can't pull back any higher. So it's just when you're ahead of news, there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on, and that's something you'll always notice. Is just you're like, why is that happening that way? It seems very unnatural. So anytime there's big news, it's typically CPI. I'll see it as well, but yeah, it's very common that it'll start to act a little weird around news. You see, even just the 2 minute, you get, a couple down candles, but then you get like 7 down candles in a row. Or 6 down candles in a row. That's just kind of weird. Weird when you see stuff like that. It's not normal. You normally get like what's up, Russell? Let's see. You normally get a little more back and forth. Yeah, Russell's holding higher. What's the daily look like on this garbage? Same, I guess, really? This looks dramatically different than what it looked like last time I saw it. Damn. Last time I saw this, it was up here. Damn. What a piece of garbage. This whole market is ghetto. It's just trash. I feel like penny stocks are like more prestigious than the stock market at this point. This thing's garbage. Yeah, just sell off forever. Go put my life savings into some sketchy biotech stock. I feel like a biotech stock's more dependable than the market right now. Nice. You said MYM. I mean, we do have a gap right here. I don't think we hold that though. There ain't no way. See what the 30-second look like. I doubt it. Minute left on the 5-minute candle. Nah, I doubt this will work. So all I'm looking for on the index is potential high or low formations, but there is not even a sign of a pulse. Just nothing. And maybe I feel like YM might work, but is that good enough? I mean, yeah, essentially, unless it breaks, right? I guess ES actually kind of got a bid right now. I mean, that candle closed a little different than what I thought it would. So I'll keep an eye on this. Yeah, still not great. Still not great. Yeah. Because even in a strong trend, you'd want to see this ideally. Like, let's just say I'm looking to get long and this is the opposite scenario. I'd be watching this low. I'd be watching this gap right here. And this is the area where I would want to get long. Like if it was the the chart was flipped, that's what I would want to do. I would never, ever, ever want, and I prefer longs. I would never want to get long in a scenario that looks like that. So if the chart's flipped, I'm never trying to really buy this. I'm waiting for this kind of thing. I'm waiting for this gap. Wait for this tag and then go. And then I get all that room up to here. But based on everything here, the rounding of the top, yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't think it's great. YM above VWAP for inversion. I mean, YM above VWAP would be nice. It would be nice. For sure. I think potentially too right here. Oh, wrong tool. It's not gonna do it. It's just not gonna give it to us. It's just gonna keep making new low a day. But let's just say we do get above here. I think this 2-minute breaker would be nice for like 5,700 still. But I really don't know at this point. So I'm not putting any eggs in any basket. I don't have an opinion. If there was a short trade, I would consider it. I don't see it. I haven't seen it at all today. And the long trade, just there's nothing close to confirming. Everything is so extremely lethargic. There's no animation. I mean, maybe the 15-minute candle close will give us a little bit of a pivot, right? Because we do have a doji on the 15. So if we get that close, we could potentially reach higher into the, that imbalance into like the 5,700s. So it's possible, but it's just there's not any sort of indication that it could happen, like that it will happen, right? Just because something can doesn't mean it's likely. Just wake up and sell. That's all you have to do. Just wake up and sell. Don't bother looking at a chart. Don't bother thinking about levels. Just sell. That's the only people making money. You just have to sell under the moving average. That's it. Unless there's a clear animation out of here, I don't want to be involved in this. Because you're just going to get more of this, more of this, more of this, more of this. I mean, the best thing is just avoid losses on these days, right? If you don't see an easy trade, you don't see your setup, just don't take it. And you will likely have one less loss because of that. If you take trades you're unsure of, you're probably going to have a loss. Yep, 100%. 100%. I think these markets are probably some of the most challenging to stay cash because you feel like you're missing out on a lot of opportunity. But why is price moving going to dictate if I take a trade or not? Why does movement determine whether I enter? I take good setups. I don't just sell the open. I don't just buy the open. I don't care if you make money. I can't do that 100 times in a row. So I'm not going to. Try selling the open all of Q3 last year. It won't. You can't even buy the open like that. If you can do something like 10 times in a row in a certain market condition, that's super, super unclear. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Anytime. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. So I think we're about done for now. I'm going to hop off probably in a minute. I don't see anything. There's nothing I could take. No trades I want. I'm not going to short the lows. There's a million different reasons why none of these trades would be something that align with my system. Let's just see the market sell off from, London highs all the way down here, 71 points on ES, and then continue selling it. Anyone who does this consistently they're going to struggle when markets rotate. This isn't a normal trade. I've been doing this 5 years. I can tell you this isn't something that you can bank on. This isn't something you should put in your playbook. Everyone will have a different opinion, but I'm telling you that from all of the data I've ever gathered, all the charts I've ever studied, that's the truth. I've lost more money trying to short lows in any market that I'm not going to do it. Things bounce. And if things don't bounce, there's obviously something bigger than price action going on, whether it's just kind of stalling it until news or whatever. But yeah, that's about it for today. I'm going to hop off. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Anything else? Anybody? We'll see though, because probably hop off and then you'll see the market give you that market structure shift. I've noticed that a couple times after we get off stream, there's like the framework gets set up. Yeah, take care, man. We'll be on tomorrow. Yeah, it's all about patience, man. That's all we can do. Be patient. Be patient if there's no setup for us. Yes. Meditation March. All right, guys. Later. See you tomorrow. Peace out.